nerds, my name is Nikki, and for this Halloween I decided to be well dressed. This week I want to talk about when Christians do things that they shouldn't, and I want to start with this. Feels like it should be common knowledge, but people keep forgetting it, so I'm really going to take this chance to drill it in. Okay? Here it goes. Christians aren't perfect, Christians aren't perfect, Christians aren't perfect. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, he's not perfect, she's not perfect, he's definitely not perfect. Nobody's perfect, nobody's perfect, nobody's perfect. Not Christians, not atheists, not Jews, not Muslims, not universal Unitarians, nobody. There's only ever been one perfect creature to walk this planet, and that was Jesus Christ, and we killed him, that's how imperfect we are. Christians don't always do what they're supposed to. Sometimes we do things, think things, and believe things that we shouldn't, just like every other human being on the planet. But when we see Christians do this, or at least people who identify as Christians, we wince. Because they should know better. They really should. I mean, everyone knows that we're bound to trip up every now and then, but in our minds there's a very big difference between I didn't fart and I kill people for fun. That's the thing that I do. Colossians 3:1-2 says, "Since then you have been raised with Christ, set your hearts to things above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds to things above, not to earthly things." Does that verse mean anything anymore? I mean, you look at the scandals that we had this summer alone, and you find a lot of Christians trying to redefine the wheel just to not be associated with whoever screwed up this time. I'm not a Christian, I'm a follower. I'm not religious, I have a faith-based relationship. I'm not a Baptist, I'm a non-denominational evangelical charismatic. BT dubs, believe it or not, those were all real words. I know, I did my research. I'm all for defining your faith, but I feel like we're using titles to avoid our problems. I also feel like we're getting away from what we're actually supposed to do. The great thing about Christ is that he accepts everybody! Yay! But the hard thing about Christ is that he accepts everybody! So we have to, too! Yes, that includes bigots. Yes, that includes pedophiles. Yes, that includes killers. And yes, there is a way to acknowledge that they are in our group, even though we want to kick them out, like, really bad. First off, screws actually work in our favor. One of the biggest problems that Christianity faces with the world's view of us is our exclusivity. People feel like they need to be perfect in order to have a relationship with God, and when someone screws up, you can point to them and say quite clearly you don't. Second, when you have the courage to say, "That man deserves hell, and yet I still wish he goes to heaven," you show a supernatural propensity for forgiveness. It is not humanly possible to be that forgiving, and the world has proven that time and time again. When you forgive something that big without any conceivable reason, you show that you have something more, and that makes people curious, even if they don't say it out loud. And of course, there's always the fear that when a Christian sees it, they will walk away from the faith, or when a non-Christian sees it, they will have good reason not to come in, or the "I don't believe in organized religion" argument. And to that fear I say this. I'm sorry that someone did something wrong. I'm sorry they did it in the name of Christ. But if you let one person, a group of people, or even a nation destroy your faith, then you didn't have faith in God. You had faith in man. Thank you guys so much for watching, and special thanks to no one who was behind the camera, because for this video, I got to borrow some really awesome tech from my really awesome worship pastor. Thank you! Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you need something to comment about what you would like me to talk about in future videos, or comment about if you would like me to do a geeky show instead, and what you would like to see on this geeky show. Think about it. And if you like my face, and the sound of my voice, no one blames you. Click the link in the description to be taken to my Facebook. And, as always, remember that you have a great God and he is with you every step that you take.